Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm JP Tong, and welcome to Thursday Paranormal Tales. Today, we have a very special guest. He is a numerologist, and I don't really know much about how it works, so I thought that I would like to actually know what this numerology is all about because at one point in Malaysia, there was a huge hype and everybody was into numerology, and I've never quite understood how it actually helps the person. All I understand is that certain numbers in your life, it is supposed to have some sort of effect, and it will actually enable you to fulfill your destiny or to change certain bad luck. That's all I know. Our guest, his name is Narishan, and I'm very happy to have him as our guest today because I would like to ask him a lot of questions about how it actually going to work. Then we'll take it from there. Okay, so let's have Narishan.
Hello, JP.
Hi, thank
Yes,
you so much for joining us and being our guest today.
thank you for inviting. Thank you.
Yeah, so I understand that you are actually the founding member of Global Alliance of Numerologists. What exactly is that, Narishan?
This one is an initiative for many of us numerologists to create a body that actually overlook numerology together with the other members from India. I think all the
Wow.
numerologists are from India. I'm the only one
Okay.
from Malaysia. So
Okay.
we formed this group. So we hope to group all the numerologists around the world, no matter what technique they use, what method they use. We will actually take them as family, and together we actually will spread numerology.
So the objective of this alliance is to promote numerology. To
For all numerologists to come together, also to promote numerology, and of course, one of our main intention is to help to make other people's life better. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds great. How long have you been doing numerology?
I've been doing this about 7 year plus, close to 8 years, 7 year plus. Yeah.
I see. And what were you doing before this?
I was an interior designer working for almost 29 years, having my own firm.
Okay.
I had projects all over Malaysia. Yeah, but of course, sometimes when, as I used to say, when the number comes together, things must change.
What led you to, from an interior designer to become a numerologist? I mean, it's totally two different industries. So if you can tell us how you actually came about
Sure.
doing
I
this.
just around that time, about 7, 8 years ago. So I was still doing interior designing at that time. But unfortunately, at that time, the few years before that, I noticed that my company's turnover getting lesser and lesser.
Okay.
I used to do very well. I used to do very well in interior design, but
Okay.
somehow during those last years, I noticed that things are getting more and more difficult for me. In the end, the last year I actually got no projects at all.
Oh
Which
no.
is impossible for me. Because I normally have a lot of projects, so I got
Mm.
no projects at all. And from there, I also accumulated debts. I don't want to share because this is a real story. So I
Okay.
accumulated debts, about 500,000. And
Mm.
I got no projects. My bank account left 2 digits,
Wow.
owing people 500,000. So it was very stressful, and I tried many things, as normal people do. What I did was I actually tried to work harder, do more promotions, try to do networking with people, things like
Yeah.
that. And of
Yeah.
course, we also try to. I'm also a Buddhist, so I used to help a lot of Buddhist centers as well. So I
Okay.
try to help even more Buddhist centers, and I even help churches.
Okay.
I try to try to see how to make life better in that
All
really.
right.
But things were very bad, and was getting worse and worse. Worse and worse until it was so bad. So, but luckily, I met one of my old friends who is actually still doing numerology. He's been
Okay.
doing for almost 20 years now. When I met him, he actually changed my life. So at that time, I do not know much about numbers. So when I met him at the time, to cut the story short, he told me that if I can do the correction, the number correction, if I can do the number correction accordingly, he says within 12 months, I should pay full my debts. I should clear my
Wow.
debts.
Okay.
12 months. So I was still wondering, how can this be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just by doing some number things, and then by writing numbers and things like that. And how can my life change? How
Yeah.
can debts be paid like that? Of course, I got no choice at the time, so I was very desperate. So I took the challenge and I did the correction. So when I did the correction, true enough, as what he said. So not 12 months, but actually 12 and a half months. He said 12 months, but it's actually 12 and a half months. I paid full my debts. 500,000 I
Wow.
paid full. So from there, I start to wonder, what is this numbers about? How can it change It can really change life, you know. I was amazed. I was very amazed. So from there, I
Mm.
wanted to go into numbers. And the more I went into numbers, the more I got very interested, more and more interested. And somehow, after doing the correction, also
Yeah.
it has decided that I will change my direction in my life. So that's from there I actually stopped my ID work, and I went straight into numbers. And I've been doing it about 7 8 years now. Yeah, 7 8
Oh, so
years now.
this is actually your full-time career then.
Yes, it's my full time. I'm doing this full time. Yeah. Beginning, I
Wonderful.
was worried because I do not know. A lot of people, they have this understanding. They thought like a numerologist, like fortune telling, something like people beside the road sit down with a parrot and things like that.
Yeah.
No, it's not like it's not like that. It's not like that. It's actually very professional because we are actually called profilers. Profilers. So
Profilers.
we profile and read numbers for people, and we correct numbers, and we actually do change people's life.
That's really interesting. So it sounds like because you have experienced the benefit of numerologists, that's why you're very convinced of how it can actually help other people as well. Tell us more about numerology, what it's all about, how it actually can affect lives.
I have prepared a presentation, a short.
Okay.
Okay, let me share the PPT. I'm
Okay.
actually practicing Chaldean method. Numerology got many methods. I'm practicing Chaldean and the inverted trigonum.
All
Inverted
right.
trigonum is another method, more known as a Pythagorean inverted trigonum. So I've
Okay.
been doing these two, and I think it's very important for any numerologist to know at least two different methods.
Why is it important to know at least two
Because there are
methods?
things that certain method could not detect that easily, and also
Okay.
they are also for check and balance, check and
I
balance.
see.
So
All
normally
right.
I would want to know whether it's correct, not what I'm reading. So
Okay.
when I check a different method and it tells me about the same thing, so I know that it's correct.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Numerology is based on mathematical laws. Mathematical
Mhm.
laws. Some people been telling, I've been listening a lot. Some people they say that if I don't know numbers, if I don't believe, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
That's what they said. But
Hmm.
they do not understand. Mathematical law 1 plus 2 is 3. You
Hmm.
do not believe also 1 plus 2 still 3.
Hmm.
So some people said if I'm not aware. If I don't know that this thing exists, so it doesn't affect my life. No, 1 plus 2 is still 3 whether you know or you don't know.
Okay.
So these are things that I need to mention because like any other laws of the universe, like gravity,
Yeah.
they are also laws of the universe, right? So when you let go your phone, even though you don't believe there's a gravity, also the phone will still fall, right? Because law is the
Understand.
law, the law of the
Yes.
universe. It's like law of karma. You believe, you don't believe, it still works. How we actually read numbers is actually by pattern, by their pattern, sequence, frequency, and vibration. So
Okay.
if some people they misunderstood, they thought this numerology is something like reading a crystal ball, things like that. No, it's not like that. It's very scientific. They have certain patterns, they have certain sequence, to decide what will happen, things like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. What I mean by pattern is like this. When you see in the universe, everything in the universe or even in the world, they have patterns, no? And normally the pattern comes in sequences, like the sun, how the earth rotates around the sun, right? So when
Okay.
the earth rotates around the sun, it rotates in a certain pattern, certain
Hmm.
sequence. And because of that, they are so consistent that we can actually calculate the month, the year, the month, the date, the time even, right? So similarly also on earth, we also can see many patterns, no? Like pattern of rain. So when you
Hmm.
see the weather, when you see the sky and the clouds get certain kind of darkness, you know that it's going to rain. How do you know? Do you have power that you can see the sky? You know it's going to rain? No, right? Because we have seen the pattern since birth. So we are small, we have seen the pattern. So we understand what the pattern represents and what will come after that sequence. So similarly also with numbers. Numbers also have pattern. So we have certain pattern of numbers, something like that will happen. And another thing I like about numerology is that it's based on case studies. That means it can be proven. It has to be proven, and we can actually do cases to determine whether the pattern really gives that result. So
Okay.
this is good. All right.
Okay.
So this is a simplified version, just to show you how normal people how we live our life.
Okay.
Okay, core numbers. I always mention about core numbers. Core numbers, we're talking about date of birth and name number. These two numbers are the only numbers that follow you from birth until a person dies. Yeah,
Hmm.
even at the tombstone there, even at your birth certificate, will still write your name, will still write your date of birth. It
Hmm.
might not write your phone number, it might not write your house number or your car number, but you will write these two. So date
Okay.
of birth and name number is actually the core. So this one is like a code, in our life. So it determines what will happen to a big extent in our life. To a big
Okay.
extent. To a big extent. So example, 1 plus 2 equals to 3. 1 plus 2.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say the date of birth totals to 1, name number totals to 2. So 1 plus 2 must always equals to 3. 1 plus 2 cannot be sometime 4, sometime 5, cannot. Must be 3.
Okay.
So
Okay.
example, assuming that this 3 is no good for finance, let's say, example,
Mm-hmm.
people with this equation, 1 plus 2, so they have to work very hard in their life, cannot achieve that success that they need. So they have to work very hard. But no matter how hard they work, yes, when you work harder, sometimes you can see result. Yes, that's
Mm-hmm.
correct. But after a while, you will see you're almost back to square one. So some people say don't work hard, work smart, use your networking, use positive thinking. They'll tell you many things. But what these people does is they're going against their number, without knowing. They're going against number. They're hoping that the number can change to another number if they work very hard. But it does not work that way. So 1
Mm-hmm.
plus 2 will always be 3. And because of the cybernetic mechanism, it will still come down again, no matter how it come down. So after a few years, you say, not much different like my life. I still owe people money. I still cannot achieve this. I still cannot achieve that. This is what normally people face in their life. And then once they cannot do anything anymore by themselves, they will turn to some occult. Example like feng shui, to
Mm-hmm.
change things, hoping that
Yeah.
still that life can change. So
Yeah.
they'll arrange their house, they do this, they do that. No? Again, yes, to a certain extent, yes, you can still see some changes along the way. But again, 1 plus 2 must always be 3. He will still
Okay.
come back somehow. And then in the end, when people cannot do anything anymore, so it's natural that people turn to the heavens, to their religion, to the spiritual side. So, example, some people will start to pray to God, or to gods, to devas. So when they pray, but they don't understand. Even from my perspective, even the heavens are also using numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Example, like Chinese, when you see they pray, they use 3 joystick, 7 joystick, 9 joystick, 5 type of fruits, 5 colors, pray on certain time, certain day. Why all must got numbers?
Mm-hmm.
Even other religions also have, but I do not want to mention. But every religion also have their own numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So the heavens also are following numbers. So if the
Mm-hmm.
heavens are also following numbers, then why are we not taking it seriously?
Mm-hmm.
Why is there a triple gem? Why is not one Buddha and 3 assistants instead of the 2? Right and left. So everything has a number.
Yeah.
Has a number. Plus 2 must always be 3.
Okay.
So when people cannot change this, so what people normally say, of course they cannot blame God, or they cannot
Mm-hmm.
blame their religion. So they say maybe my karma is bad. That's why I have to
Mm-hmm.
suffer.
Mm-hmm.
Some people they say maybe God is testing me. God is testing me. That's why I cannot change my life. I have to suffer because God is testing me.
Yeah.
Sometimes they say maybe my star is dark. They will say all sorts of things.
Yeah.
But because they don't understand, 1 plus 2 must always be 3. The only way
Okay.
you can change the 3 is you need to know how to do it. Then when
Got
you so this is actually how the numbers can change if you know the
it.
method. Okay.
All right.
Now after telling you how people live by the numbers, so I also need to tell you shortly how people die by the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
How people die by that. So you see, every number that we have in the name or in the date of birth, they are combo of death. They are combo of
Okay.
death. So example number 8. Number 8 people generally they need 4 and 2 to die. They need 4 and 2 to
Mm-hmm.
die. So example, when they are 2 years old, they'll collect number 2. 4 years old, collect number 4. 8 years old, collect number 8. Let's say they are 17 years old, collect number 8. 22 years old, collect number 4. So fast forward until today. Your handphone number totals to 4, you collect. Your house number totals to 2, you collect. Your husband and wife number totals to 8, you collect. Your company name totals to 48, you collect. Even the year like last year 2022, 2020, double 2 with 4. Many people died last year. So we will collect this number. The moment you collect enough, your death is very near.
What do you mean by collect the numbers?
Okay, this is automated. No, this is not
Mm-hmm.
you want to collect, but it's automated. What happens like this, each time you pass or a number that is clashing with you, basically
Yeah.
clashing with you, it comes into your life. So it affects your vibration. It affects your vibration, it will stay there. So you keep on,
Okay.
so each time you live your life, the car number that you changes, your telephone numbers, all these number that comes into your life, even names, you use many names, different calling names, all these names you accumulate, somehow they will affect you also. So because of that, you can see life actually changes, along the way, somehow based on the numbers. But
I see.
I'm not talking about death combos. That means there are certain numbers, when you collect enough, people can die. So that is why a lot of people, sometimes they die very young.
Mm-hmm.
Not because they cannot die later, when you know how to see the numbers, you can see that there are exit points. I call it exit points. That means every human being has different exit points. Example, maybe in your 30s, you have 1 or 2 years that you could die. Maybe in your 40s, 2, 3 years, you could die, like that, If you know how to diffuse this bomb, you diffuse this bomb. That means you don't let it complete. If you know 482 is you cannot collect, so your handphone number totals to 2, don't change the handphone number. Your car number totals to 8, patch it. Your house number totals to 4, patch it. Your husband or wife number totals to your clashing number, correct it. If you can do this, you can pass the early death. But
Okay.
some people, they misunderstand. They said, oh, are you saying that if I were to so-called diffuse these bombs, I no need to die? No, not like that. Because why? They are numbers that we cannot control. Our age keep on changing, we cannot control. The year number keep on changing, we cannot control. Of course, in the end, we will collect and die. But at least we die our natural death, no, or die when the time is
It's
come
premature.
correct. So we can avoid the early one. All right. So what can the numbers read? So the number can read many things, from character to money issue to lifespan to health, to children. We also can see how many children you can get, even though you are not married. Things like this. So we also can see whether it's a boy or girl. Marriages issue, whether can get married or not. Whether got divorced or not. Business issue. Some dangers in your life. We also can check the past, the present, or even the future by the numbers. For example, if inside your name number or your date of birth, you have 2. Like BN, DN. This is how we calculate. If you want to know, we can talk about this later. So when you calculate your name or your date of birth, you got this BN2 or name number 2. The moment you have 2 in your core, you have to go through at least 2 serious relationships in your life. At least 2.
Okay.
And many of them have to marry one time and divorce. Yeah. So the pattern will be there. So when you check people with 2 around you, you can see the pattern is there. The pattern will be there. Yeah. So when people have the pattern, whether they know, they don't know, they believe, they don't believe, doesn't matter. It's a law. So you have to follow their pattern. How about pattern of number 7? So people who have 7 in their core, people who have 7 in the core, they will also face some kind of relationship issue. Of course, every number got good and bad. I'm just targeting this issue for you. So 7 people, normally they are not satisfied. They cannot be contented in relationship. Even they are single, they cannot be fully contented. Even they are married, they cannot be fully contented. 7 got this issue. And many of the 7s will naturally select their own wrong partner. By choice. They will select the wrong partner by choice. So that also contributes to the issue. And then if 7, you have many 7s, or even with certain numbers in the core, this 7 can give the person affairs, opportunity for affairs. So you see people like Leonardo DiCaprio. I think even you go Google also, they mentioned that he's also is known as a playboy of Hollywood, because he got many girlfriends, he keep changing girlfriend. You see he got 7 with the 2 some more. So you can see Edison Chen, you can see Orlando Bloom. So all of them also have issues in the relationship. I also want to show you the number of the names. Many people don't understand. Some people say, oh, your date of birth is so good. Yes, but if the name number cannot support, no use also. So you see Lim Go Tong, his name number is 42. Shah Rukh Khan, 42. Nikhil Freeman is a billionaire in Russia. Elton John, of course, very rich. Bank of America, Bank of China, Bank of Switzerland, Bank Negara. Why all people or companies are using 42 as names are so successful, so rich? What happened? Because number has pattern. So that's why I always tell my clients, if you got children, if you want the children to have a good future, one of the best investment is to correct their numbers. So if let's say they can use a 42 example, if I correct them to 42, in their life they cannot go anywhere else, they must go to 42. Even though if example, if they fail in their business, things like that, once you correct it, they must go to 42. They will meet the right people at the right time, at the right, things like that. They will go to 42 somehow, because 1 plus 2 cannot be other number. It must be 3. So this is one of the things about numbers. Ananda Krishnan, all these. You can see 41 also very successful numbers, right?
I think this 42 will be very popular, right? I'm sure you get a lot of questions.
No, it's not. No, I need to see your core, because not everybody can use 42.
I see.
So 46 is also very powerful numbers. Jeff Bezos, the richest man in the world. Robert Koch, the sugar king. Mark Zuckerberg, Bank of Tokyo, Vladimir Putin. All these also very powerful, successful numbers. And it is said that 46 people can control big corporations. 46 also can control a country. So that's why it's also very powerful numbers. But of course, again, not everybody can use. But if, let's say, you or even your children can use, it's good to adjust it, to correct it. All right. Now, also to show you about death, because I do a lot of case study on death, so I want to share some of the things that I found. A lot of people have been talking about death, about numbers. So they say, how do you actually count how long people can live, or when people die? I say, actually, there are few formulas to do this. But I said the easiest way for normal people to see is to look for number 8. This is one of the easiest to look for number 8. So when I said it, some clients or people that I talk to, especially Chinese, they will criticize me. They said, hey, come on lah. How can you say 8 is related to death? 8 is fat, 8 is rich, wealthy. How can you say 8 related to death? So I need to clarify that, okay, you see, firstly, when we do case study on numbers, we do not do case study based on what Chinese say, what Indians say, what Malay say. No, like this. We study number as the number itself. When we can actually see number purely as the number itself, we can see different patterns. And of course, 8 can make you successful. 8 can make you rich. 8 can make you famous. At the same time, 8 also can give you the other way. Some people with number 8, they have to suffer divorce, miscarriage. They've got surgeries, this type of issue. But no matter which one the 8 gives you, your lifespan will be shorter. So that is why sometimes people who has number 8, they are very happy. Oh, you see how successful. Don't be so happy first. Now, I just show you some samples. As I said, numbers can be proven. It's not just mere say. It can be proven. So I just take a few samples to show. People with 8 in core. Okay, BN means your birth date number. So Michael Jackson is born on the 29th. So 2 plus 9 is 11. 1 plus 1 is 2. So BN2. Okay, that's how we count. But the DN means the destiny number, the total of full date of birth. 2 plus 9 plus 8 plus 1 plus 9 plus 5 plus 8 becomes 6. That means become 2 digit. Total together to become single digit becomes 6. Now the name number. Name also got numbers. But this one you need to use a chart to convert. So when you convert the chart, using the chart, you can see that Michael Jackson has 44 in the name, and the shadow is 76, which is also which is 4. Having 8 in core, as I said, many people with 8 in core, very hard to pass 56 years old. Very difficult. Not say cannot. If you got certain support number, you can, but very hard to pass. So now Cheong Kok Wing, which is Leslie Cheung from Hong Kong, you can see his name number is 5 plus 3 is 8. So he also did not pass 56. He died at 47. Now, why I'm taking all these people from different part of the world is to show that the numbers affects everyone, not only Malaysian, not only Asian, not only Chinese. It affects everybody equally. Equally.
Okay.
Yes. So you see, the number has pattern. The number has pattern. If you got the pattern, you need to follow. You will follow. Whether you know, you don't know, you believe, you don't believe, you will follow. The good thing is, when you know, you can correct it. This is the strength of numerology. If you can read but cannot correct, what's the use, right? So it can be corrected. This is the strength of numerology. I just want to show you a little bit about pattern, a pattern of numbers. Last year, 2020, was totals to 4. And Earth number is 17, totals to 8. Yeah. If you remember just now, the first 3 slides I showed you, I said the combo of death, 842 is one combo of death. And because Earth number is 8 and last year is 224, so the combo of death for last year is the combo of the death of the world. Of course, the world lifespan is longer than Earth, because the world lifespan is based on planetary lifespan, not human lifespan. So of course, much longer. But the effect is still similar. 824 is a combo of death for the world. And because of that, everyone on Earth has to face it. 20 means a new beginning. In Chaldean, 20 means a new beginning. So 2020, is a serious beginning. So that's why last year people talk about new normal. So 2020 also means diseases or illnesses that spreads like water. Of course, when I mentioned this in 2019, I do not know COVID at the time. So then, of course, in March, is it? I think we know about COVID, right? In 2020. So water element. 2 is also water element. So water element will be highlighted. Anything to do with water element. It can be very good or can be very bad. So example, internet is water element. So last year, internet boom. Because and also water element also means finance. And because this is a combo of death for the world, of course, everybody got it. Everybody got financial issue. Everybody, the whole world, corporation also got. 2020 also totals to 4. This one, the equation totals to the effect of the government, politics, corporation, and countries. So you see, last year, which country got no issue? Everybody also got issue. So you can see, even if the whole world do not know about the numbers, they will still follow the pattern because 1 plus 2 must always be 3. So
Okay.
4 is
Interesting.
actually the wood element. So one of the wood element career or business is education. So last year was badly affected with education, and this year
Yeah.
also is also affected. Why? Because the 20 still goes through. Yeah, even though the other 20 no more, but the 120 still go through, and this one will last quite a long time.
I see.
Okay, so some problematic combos. So these are combos that you guys need to take care. I mean, if your name, number, or your date of birth has this combo, yeah, you need to take care. 63, 92, 94, 97, 98. So
Okay.
what do I mean by this? Example, Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick Boseman,
Mhm.
the Black Panther, right? In the
Yes.
Avengers,
Yes.
Marvel Universe, yes. So you see, he was born on 29 November 1976. 2 plus 9, 11. 1 plus 1, 2. So his DN total, everything comes to 2 digit, total together become 9. So 92. Remember I said 92, 92, 94, all this the one, 63, all the
Yeah.
one. So, and his name number come to 7. So 92, 97. 9297, and he died also got 4, 929794. Now, what is the problem of this combo? This 9297, this type of combo, they can give you many issues in life, including obstacle in life, relationship issue also can, surgery for sure. People with this combo must go through surgeries. Also, they also can get illnesses that is very hard to cure. And of course, they also has a premature death. That means if they can die 80 years old, but now they will die maybe 70 plus, 60 plus, 50 plus, they will die before their time. So when I calculated for this Chadwick Boseman, he actually has an illness that he cannot cure, right? Which is cancer.
Cancer,
And he died 9 years earlier. I have checked his lifespan. He can easily go at least 9 years longer, but he died 9 years earlier. So it's called a premature death. Premature death. Okay, number 15 and 51, call it accident prone number. Having 15 in the core, Kapil Singh, he's a very famous lawyer. So you see what happened to him. He got 15 in the core, born on 28. Is 1. So of course his shadow number is 5 for the name. So he got 15. So he got an accident before where he lost his legs, and then 9 years later he got an accident that killed him. Paul Walker, 5 and 1. 3 plus 7, 10, 1 plus 0, 1. He has 2 sets. He also died in accident. Mo Yin Peng is a boy from Penang, in north of Malaysia, for those international audience. So it was a bridge over the sea.
Yeah.
So if anybody have this kind of number, of course there are many other patterns of numbers, but today I'm just going to share a little bit. So you need to correct the numbers. It can be corrected. Chronology, just to mention that to us who study as a Chaldean, even the alphabets are also numbers. People with example DMTFP, of course, try not to start your name with this number if you do not know how to control the numbers. Not say cannot, but it's harder to control. So you need to understand how to control the numbers. So name starting with ASRK is good. No, okay, all these I just let you know. Example, letter LO is no good in the name. Anybody got LO together, it's no good. So the numbers are very consistent. You got the number, you must follow. You don't know, doesn't matter. If letter, some letter cannot repeat. When you got, let's say I, if you repeat more than once, of course, this is no good. So when problems can be read by the numbers, they can also be corrected by the numbers. This one I want to let people know. They thought by correcting numbers means you need to buy jewelry. Some people say you need to buy pendant, diamond pendant, ruby pendant, rings watches.
Yes.
No, don't do this. Don't do this. That is not the correct way to correct the core. That one, you buy the whole goldsmith shop, also no use. I can tell you. So you need to know how to correct the 1 plus 2 to 3. How to change the 3. It's not how expensive the jewelry is. No, it's not like that. Karma takes effect based on conditions. Basically, those who understand Buddhism, change the condition and the effect changes. Number 1 plus 2 equals to 3. If I put 1 plus 2 plus 2, I change the condition, the effect must change. Or don't give up hope. So always give a try. Give numerology a try. You'll be surprised.
We do have a friend here that I've invited, and so that we can actually perhaps have you do a numerology with her and then see what happens. Yeah. So can we have Beatrix join us?
Hello.
Hi,
Hi.
Beatrix.
Hello.
Hi.
I will show you how normally people consult and what normally I tell people. So you can know what happened during a numerology consultations.
Okay.
So normally they will give me their name, their full name,
All right.
as per their birth cert. That means in the IC.
All right.
Because some people, they have changed their name and they give me the changed name. That one, yes, I want, but I also want the original name. So
Okay.
I need the name, and then I need the Beatrix, the calling name. Of course, the date of birth is very important. So from there, then I will see the numbers and I see any clashing numbers that they have. Yeah. So for you, Beatrix, Ui Zin Yi, Ui Zin Yi.
Yes.
So Ui Zin Yi, as I said, just now I was just saying, right, the moment you got two eyes, you're going to face nerve and blood issues sooner or later in your life, and you got three eyes. So you be prepared for it, so somehow you have to go through that kind of pattern in your life, and normally it comes around in your 40s or 50s, so you're going to face those issues. Yeah, that one will come. And at the same time, you also have a BN of 28, which is total to 1. So this BN28, it shows that actually you can see some success, or even you can see things, good things happening very fast in your life, in the early part of your life. But having 28, number 28 in your core, this one actually in your name number, this one actually will give you some kind of issue later. Because why? 28 people normally in their life, they will have to start again and again, Even though they have started, they become so successful, let's say, to a certain degree, and then somehow there'll be a downfall. And then they have to start again. Then after some time, there'll be another downfall. Then they have to start again, Yeah? Because now you're just, 24, right? 24.
24.
Okay. So if I talk to a person in 40s or 50s, they would know what has happened. But
Yeah.
you was 30. So doesn't matter. I just let you know. But you can see that this will be your pattern, Somehow, this will be pattern. And also your numbers also indicates that actually you love peace. You love peace, you're very sympathetic, things like that. And also you like to help the needy. Yes, this number is also there inside your name, Beatrix. It's also there. But the thing is, you need to be careful. For you, you cannot be selfish. That means you don't be selfish. If you be selfish, many of the good things that is supposed to come to you, you will get some different result. You can actually indirectly hurt your family. You can hurt the social surroundings. It can affect you if you go into those selfish side. So just be careful. Don't do that. I mean, I don't say you're doing
Okay.
it, but
Sorry,
this
Narishan, just to interject. When you say don't be selfish, in what aspects are you referring to?
that means this one is talking about your own deeds, or even things that you have, material wealth also. That means don't be selfish. No? Selfish also
In
he can mean
general,
like this. Selfish also can mean like this. That means, let's say in a certain job, so you want a promotion, no? So you fight for it, selfish, even though you know that guy is better than you to take the position, but you will see how to get it, no? So all this is like selfish. When you do this, actually, there will be side effect to your family and also to your surroundings. So I just want to tell you, don't become like that. So you need to be
Okay.
careful. All right. So now, your date of birth is 16. Okay, I don't mention, but you have BN7. That means your date of birth is 7 and 2. Okay, 7 and 2 is one of the very lucky combo. For your information, it's a very lucky combo for you. That means to get material wealth, money, finance, career, the 7 and 2 can help you a lot. But there's always a but. Your name number is not correct. It's not correct. So that's why if your name number is correct, you will have seen a lot of difference. You will have seen a lot of difference. No? But of course, having 7 and 2 also, relationship will be a problem. As I mentioned, people with 7, remember I said 7, even though they want to be single, but also not fully contented. No? But even if they get a husband also, somehow also they will not be fully contented. Something is always missing.
oh no,
So
you're the
people,
next Liz Taylor.
yeah.
Should be another Liz Taylor.
So you just need to know why. Sometimes it's good to know because some traits is not good or bad. Some things are not good or bad. It's just that you need to understand. So if you don't understand, example, if you don't understand, then when you're in a relationship and you cannot find that contentment, so sometimes depend on your numbers. If you got certain numbers that allow you to flirt, then you might try but that's why if you understand that your number indicates that you will, no matter which relationship, you will not be fully contented. So when you understand this, then you will likely to stay put, instead of divorce or what, you likely to stay put because you already know that the pattern is like that. No? So
Yes.
these are things that you need to understand. And because you got the N2, remember the N2? I mentioned the N2. So the N2 also is like that. That means if you married also, the first one likely to separate or divorce. Like very likely, it might be directly your fault, it might be his fault, it might be based on condition. So things will actually somehow separate. That's when I tell people about these type of things. They said, hey, master or something, they call me a master Narishan. Say, why do you always talk a lot about bad things? Why do you tell about good things? Of course, I said I can tell you the good things, but if I tell you the good thing, okay, example number two, number two, of course, you can actually communicate very well, you're very caring, you have this motherly feel to things, and like a negotiator, if let's say there's any fight or what, you are one of the best person to go and mediate. So you have a lot of good things, but the thing is, I always like to mention about some danger things, things that you need to take care, because I think that is more important, right? If I tell a person, I say, oh, you are so beautiful, you are so, but doesn't help them, doesn't help them at all. So that's why I like to tell them more things that is dangerous or important that they need to know how to correct their numbers. Yeah. Okay. Now also I want to tell you that based on your numbers, it indicates that actually you are quite stubborn, It's not, of course, normally I cannot ask you, I must ask your family member or what lah. Then only they
No,
will
I will
test you.
admit that I am quite stubborn. Don't need to ask.
And then of course you also got in Malaysia we call angin we got temper, So of course if your temper come, it's not small, it can be very serious temper, So this also is mentioned inside your numbers. And then of course your number also mention that you need to be careful of how you actually listen, how you're listening, how you need to be careful, because sometimes when you listen, inside your mind, the way you translate things can mean a bit different one, So because of that, sometimes misunderstanding can happen. Another thing is you need to be careful also. If let's say when you listen to people, because your number also indicates that you also a selective listener. That means things that you like to listen one, of course you listen lah. If you don't really like one, come inside here, go out there lah, like that. So it's better to be there, And so that's why sometimes I like to tell, especially if there's a few people that knows you around, because sometimes they can also justify things that as I mentioned. All right. Then, of course, you are responsible. Okay, you're going to mix some good and some bad. So you're a responsible person. Yeah, you're a responsible person. But because of that, you will somehow get stressed. Your life will have stress. You cannot run. Your life will have stress. And then, of course, also, you also need to know that sometimes, from time to time, your direction in life, not so steady. Sometimes you think you know what you want, but after sometimes you will rethink again. Maybe it might be like this, or maybe I should go that way, or this way, or that. Things like that can happen. And then, of course, also for the interaction. Your interaction with people, especially the close people, also need to be careful. Yeah, because sometimes you can be warm, very nice, but sometimes cold a bit. So that depends on your mood, things like this. So this one also is also
very
mentioned.
windy lah. You're a very windy person.
so-
like you said.
烤风。
numbers, yeah. As I say, your numbers actually 72, so BN 7DN2, you can be very successful. Seriously. Only thing is your number is not supportive. Your number is not supportive. If you get a good supportive number in your name or correct your core, a lot of things can change. Seriously, a lot of things can change. Yeah. And then you also like to travel. Of course, your number mentioned that. You also like to travel, things like this. But chance to travel, maybe not so much, but you like to travel. So, and if you can correct your number to a certain extent, then actually, in your older life, okay, exactly, past 55. When you pass 55, you actually have a big so-called fortune coming. The fortune can come in form of inheritance. It can come in the form of maybe some investment. Became very good. Or even some business. Success in business. All this can come. But if you do not correct your core, by the time you reach around that time, sometimes can see but cannot catch. That's what people Chinese say. Can see but cannot touch. So things like this, you need to understand. If you can correct it, yes, you can see. But you also need to be careful again, because why? Your number also indicates, besides relationship will not be so smooth, you also can have a financial and also legal issue, legal issue. Yeah? The legal issue can be related to work. The legal issue can be related also to your relationship. So you need to be very careful. Now 24, your stress period, if you think you are a bit stressed now, not yet. Not yet. Your actual stress will start after you're 27. That time you will know stress. That time will know that time will be a lot of things will happen at that time. Will be very stressful. Partly also because you want to do things yourself. So don't at the time after 27, try to not to do things yourself. Don't try not to control so even though yes you will have support, but try not to control the support. Let people help you accordingly. Then your stress will not be so much. And then at the time also somehow also people can stress you. People can stress you. So people around can stress you. Either give you more work to do, or even your personal life. So it will get more stressed. So you need to be careful. That time you need to be careful. Okay. But I just also want to let you know that there are certain part of your life which is we call exit period. Remember I said exit period, just now I mentioned, right? That means period that a person can get a very serious hurt, physically, emotionally, or even bodily. That means inclusive of death, is not very far. So you need to be very careful because I can tell you from here, the earliest one will come around you're in your 27 to 36, around that time. This one will be more based on stress. Please distress around that time. Then the challenge will come when you are 37 to 42. This is a period where you are actually inside your exit period. Exit period. So this exit period is very dangerous. So you need to be careful. That means this period you can actually have surgery. You can be hospitalized. You also can actually have some kind of disability. Body disability. Maybe paralyzed or something. Also can happen. Or even example operations, surgery. So you need to be very careful at that time. At that time you'll be surrounded by a lot of stress. Responsibility and stress. The number here indicates work, responsibility, and stress. It is due to this one. It is due to this one. Sometimes people don't understand numbers. They think numbers is something you want to believe can, don't believe can. No, don't take it like that. 1 plus 2 must always be 3. So this one you have to understand. Okay, so your first life period is coming around that time. That means a danger period. But be careful. I also will tell you, if you don't correct your numbers properly, in your old age, actually hospitalization, surgery, you will face. You will face. If you correct it properly, in your old age, actually, you can actually travel. You can even migrate, in your later part of your age. If you want to, you can migrate if the numbers are correct, or else then it's tough. And your number also indicates that you also are very charismatic person. Charismatic person. So it means that if you want to do any work, want to do any business or career, the career should be something that you can meet people directly. That means don't sit at the counter, don't sit inside the room. No, not like that. You need to find a career. Of course, you need to know what career is suitable for you, and then that you meet people. People must see you. People must talk to you. You can be very successful. So this is some of the things that I want to share with you. And of course, besides that, also you need to also take care of course your health issue. So I cover that a bit so that you get some idea. So your health issue. Heart is one of your health issue. Heart issue. And heart issue also could be a very serious one when the time comes. Of course, you also need to be careful of fire and heat. Fire and heat. Fire and heat also can kill you. Can hurt you, can kill you. Fire and heat. So when you do anything with fire and heat, be extra careful. Example, if you got high fever, heat, right? Heaty, right? Heat. High fever, please attend to it. Go to doctor or something, get it settle. Don't just never mind. I don't because heat again, heat and fire can kill you. So be extra careful. And another one is your liver. Liver. So your liver also can give you problem. So if you don't smoke, which is good but you also need to take care of liver drink more water. Take care of liver, because if you got any issue, serious issue, it will be connected to either this. Connected to the heart, that means connected to the blood circulation, and of course also to the liver issue, whatever is connected to the liver. So this is very dangerous. And when I say liver and heart, also please be careful because it also can mean not only through illnesses, also can also mean through accidents. For now, is there, okay, maybe I just make you happy a bit. Are you married or not?
No.
Okay. Your number indicates that you can get married. Okay. Okay.
As in right now or later?
Not now. The time is not yet. The time is not yet. But you can. You can, because your number indicate that you have a marriage number. But somehow third party will come. Your number is like that. Even though if you got a boyfriend, even though you get married, somehow so third party will be involved. Somehow third party will be involved. So just to let you know. So that is also one of the reasons why maybe your number also indicates that you have to separate. The first marriage must separate, or relationship cannot be satisfactory, things like that. Because the number also indicates that. Okay.
Mhm.
And
Can she
of course,
choose not to? Sorry, can she choose
yeah.
not to get married then?
Yes, of course. This is choice. Is of course it's choice. But if you do not get married, chances are the moment you pass around 40 plus, late 40s, you will decide not to get married. You do not mind to have a companion. That means someone to stay with you, for the rest of your life. But around that time, if you're not married, after around 50, you will not want to get married already. You just want to
Mm.
have a companion and then just focus on your religious work. Things like that. Your pattern indicates like that. So you can get married. Of course, you can find a guy also, but not at this time. Not at this time. It's not yet. Unfortunately, your time is actually a bit later. That means in your 40s actually, somehow. So there is better time to actually get attached. So well, I cannot say it's good or bad, but this is what your number says. So if you want to have a boyfriend, earlier, of course, doesn't mean cannot lah. But I'm talking about serious ones, like marriage or what. So those will be around that time. So early one, you will double check again. Can or not? Yes. Now you're 24. Okay. Example, in your age of about 26, 27, there is also a small possibility of relationship. 26 and 27. So if you happen to want to look for someone, 26, 27, very good time to look. There is a chance. Uh, uh, there is a very good chance. But whether it can last or not, that one I don't want to talk. But you can find someone at the time. Yeah. After that, you miss it, then you have to wait quite some time. You have to wait quite some time. Okay. And then your number also indicates that actually you can marry someone from a different country, a different nationality, from Europe, or China or Taiwan or Korea or somewhere lah. You can marry someone from a different country. You also can marry someone with a big age gap, at least 4-5 years more or less. That means younger than you more than 4-5 years, or elder than you more than 4-5 years. Also can. The person also can be different. What you call that? Race. You're Chinese, right? So it could be an Indian guy, it could be an American, could be a different race, and also can be a different religion. It can also be from someone from different religion. So it can be one of these or a combination of this. So this also is indicated in your numbers. So maybe if you want to, you can of course look further away a bit lah.
Start looking abroad.
You can look further away, or somebody from away but who is here, because your number allows that. But of course, in the end, it depends on your choice. If you want to marry someone from Kechara, of course, nobody can stop you. So it's up to you, your choice. Okay. So, and for you also can get, this one is a bit sensitive. You can get a child, but chances are you also will lose the child. Your number says so. That means you can, if you get a child, the child is most likely going to be a girl. And then, of course, the chances of you to lose a child is very high if you do not correct your call. Chances are it's either a miscarriage or something will happen. So, if you want children, you need to correct the call. And if you want children, you need to actually try to get it earlier. That means preferably before 37, 36. Don't get it too late, because your number says that you might have issue later if you have children too late. I seriously trying to promote numbers in Malaysia. You see, in Malaysia, I don't think you can see many Facebook talking about numbers. If I'm to promote it in Asia, because here people talk about feng shui a lot. Everybody talk about feng shui, but they don't understand the numbers are so important. They're so dangerous, so important. It can change your whole life. Seriously, it can make or break you also. So that's why I'm trying to help people by doing this.
I have some questions regarding correction. What do you mean by correction? As in,
Okay.
change my name, change number.
Correction. There's a few ways to correct. Different method got different ways to correct numbers. But what we do as a Chaldean numerologist, we will correct it. What I call it the core correction. That means to change a 1 + 2 = 3. So now how do I change this 3 to a different number? So this is the most important. Okay, that's the most important correction. Second important correction is correcting your name, because whatever name you use will affect you. If the name is no good, if you use it, of course it will affect you for the rest of your life. So obviously, I would suggest if you can, you use a better calling name. A better calling, because your name actually is not supportive of your, not fully supportive of your date of birth. Yes, it helps you to a certain degree, but not fully supportive. Or else, then a lot of things can change in your life. Okay. Then third one is you need to diffuse the bomb. As I said, I will tell you, what kind of number you're not supposed to have. Example, number 9, you need to avoid number 9s in your life. Number 8s in your life, you need to avoid. Number 4 in your life. So all these are numbers, you need to avoid it. So when you avoid it, of course, you will be able to pass your danger periods. Example, even though you're hospitalized, even though you went to serious surgery, but chances of you to survive is high. So all these things you need to do. You need to do. Then of course the last one that I want to advise is, of course, you need to use the number. Use the number. That means, example, when I give you the core signature to activate the 1 plus 2, change to a different number. So this core signature, I advise you to use it as often as you can. That means, especially is if you know that year is dangerous. If you know that, say, you want to go for an interview, before interview, you do a lot of signature to boost up your vibration. And if you want to go for surgery, also same, do the signature correction. Boost it up. So all this one can help you. Or let's say you say this month, I don't know why I feel so sad, I feel so down. Sign. So all this one will boost you a lot. So that's why I said, do this one is important. First, again, most important, core signature correction must do. That one can change a lot of your life direction already. Number 2, of course, to make things even better. To making even better, you need to also correct your name, get a better name. So name is another thing that normally my client will say, Master, I'm already 40 over years old. I'm already 40 years old. Now you ask me to change name, Master. They're like that. They say, everybody know my name already. All my relatives, my friends know how to change. So I normally tell them like this. I say, for the name, I say, if your name is hurting you, if your name will give you a shorter lifespan, if your name will make sure you go through certain serious surgeries, do you want to change or not? Or you want to maintain just to please your friends who already know your name, or for their convenience lah. No need to adjust the number in the phone for their convenience. No need to remember your new name. I say, which is more important? Is it important to you or important for them? So normally I advise them.
Narishan, sorry, just to interject. So when you say change name, are you referring to changing the name that they use for people to call, or is it changing the name on the birth
Calling name,
certificate?
calling name.
Change the calling name. Okay.
But those children, babies, normally they got option to actually change the full name in the IC. So because now I think the new requirement has to be less than a year, I think, or something like that. No?
Okay.
Before
And just okay, and to backtrack a bit, you were also saying about something about signing, about the
Yes.
signature. So you're saying that another way to change
That is
her
the way to
numbers
change.
would be to change the way that she signs.
No, to change the number sequence that she signed. That means I need to create a new sequence for her. Example. So let's say if I say example, I say, okay, Beatrix, you sign Beatrix A B C D. Example. I say, okay, Beatrix, you sign Beatrix A B C D, and you need to sign on a certain date. I will tell you when you can start. Then you start to sign, and once you start to sign, you need to sign a certain number of times per day, and you need to sign for the certain numbers of days. The science is like that, to affect your core, 1 plus 2 equals to 3, right? Okay, that means I need to slot in another number to change. So 1 plus 2 plus 2 become 5, right? 1 plus 2 plus 3 becomes 6, right? So no more 3.
Okay,
So
I understand.
yeah,
So
to
so
slot
it's
it.
just about you prescribing a type of signature with additional letters for her to sign, but it doesn't mean that she need to change her legal documentation, right?
No. So
Okay, I understand.
all your existing agreements, your existing documentation, no need to change. But the
Okay.
new one, the new documents, the new agreement, if you can use the new signature.
Okay.
So if your bank account, your bank signature, if your bank always like that, then you change your bank signature. Chances are it to go like that is better. Yeah. So that means you need to correct the newer ones. The old ones okay. And when you correct your name also, let's say calling name, even you correct your calling name to another name, Some friends will still call you your own name, correct? Yeah,
Mm.
some friends, some family members, they should call you your own name. And for me also, until today, some of my friends, they call me my own name. It's okay, but it's better to have some new vibration good and some old vibration bad than having totally bad vibration.
Okay, great.
Okay. So are you
Yeah.
working now, Beatrix? Beatrix?
Yes, I'm working now. I'm working
What
in Kechara.
Kechara doing any specific position or job?
And
Yeah, all those
at
you
the
can do.
moment we are at the moment we are working on our gurus building our guru stupa chapel.
Hmm.
So there's a certain job that I should avoid, is it?
Yeah, of course, there are jobs that you cannot do and there are should not do. Not cannot do, should not do. There are jobs that is better if you do. So,
Mm,
everybody also has a few choices of
mm,
jobs that they can or cannot do. But can or cannot do
mm,
doesn't mean can and cannot. No, can also
mm,
has a few so-called very good, good and okay. The kind of.
mm,
So
mm,
if you can actually do any of these jobs around this one, it's very good for you. So example,
mm,
some job is really good. Really good means that it can actually bring you up. In other words, the profession supports you. If you
mm,
don't go into a profession that you must support, that one you will
mm,
stress. You're stressed very
mm.
much. But if you go into the profession that that supports you, of course, life is better.
So we have I've definitely learned a lot about numerology, and yeah, it looks like it's a lot of it's pretty scientific in that way. So yeah, so thank you very much, Beatrix, and thank you very
Thank
much,
you. Thank you.
Narishan,
Thank you.
for
Thank you.
joining us today. So I hope that all of you have enjoyed our conversation with Narishan, and I've learned so much about numerology and how it works and the kind of influence that it actually has on the person's life. Now, I will leave it up to you to come to a conclusion whether or not you subscribe to it or you don't. But you see, for me, it's all about having an open mind and to see, how other people out there are using different methods to help everyone live their fullest life and also to move on with their lives. On that note, thank you. Take care.